I have no script or nothing written about this topic because it recently caught people's attention in the social media of it all on Facebook in Mongolia. And it's like I think it has been brewing under the surface for like a long time, for the last, let me say, 5 to 10 years. This has been just an issue, crazy issue, and no one really put any attention to it because the time was now. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. So it's about bullying in Mongolia, and as a person of age, I went through this, not around it. But high school and like being a high school kid, it's like a little tiny minuscule microscopic version of like the adult world, right? It does not go away when you become an adult. The bullying, this internal struggle of power, like group dynamics and things like that, it does not go away. But when you're a kid or high school student, you just get like a tiny taste of it. And through engaging in this social dynamics, engaging in this social interactions, you kind of learn to how to talk to people, how to get around the situation, how you react to certain kind of situation, what kind of people are there. You kind of high school is the place where you learn to socialize, and it's supposed to get you ready to socialize in real life, right? But nowadays, Mongolian high school is a death trap. It's gotten very serious to the point where it's a funny little hell that exists among the high schoolers of nowadays. And they have a social media account where they record videos of them doing certain things, and they put it in this account or send it to the account, and then other people watch it. And there's this tiny world where things happen. What happens? So recently, the story just took the city by storm, and this was a group of teenagers, like high schoolers, in an apartment stairwell area, right? And what they're doing is they're actually jumping on this single girl, and there are 2 or 3 girls who are holding that little girl down against the wall, and they are actually just beating them, they're bullying them, they're hitting them, and then they're actually trying to take her clothes off. And not only those 2 or 3 girls doing that, they're like plethora of other kids like around the same age standing on the stair and watching and shouting and just going crazy about it. And that story ended up going public on social media, and then now everyone involved in that story is going through investigation, and like everyone who has a mouth is talking about it, and it's just bringing a very serious reality into like our consciousness. And like the parents of those kids who are doing such heinous, terrible shit, they are kind of like, they gotta back up on them, because their parents are high-ranking officials in the police department. They have their parents are big people. And even after the story got known by a lot of people, even after the video was shared publicly, one of those kids, it's a girl, she was doing explanation video, right? You see no remorse in her eyes. She has this a filter that makes your face a bit like an animal, and then kind of gives you an effect of being cuteness, right? And she's talking about, I had actually stopped beating people up for 3 years, but then I picked it up again this year because she actually slept with my ex-boyfriend or boyfriend. That's the reason. And she's talking about it with zero remorse in her eyes and posting it on Instagram. And then that post got leaked or whatever. And you can from that, I just conclude that these kids are from a different world. I wouldn't say my age, previously that age, I wouldn't say bullying never existed. It has always been an issue. It was always been a scary thing that was a prison for some kids, because you are under a pressure to find your place in a social hierarchy and exist in it. That's how you survive, right? But what if the social hierarchy is fucking crazy? there's an invisible line around things, right? And this time, this day and age, everyone is jumping over, erasing, stepping on the line when it comes to anything. This day and age, everything's no one knows decorum, no one knows the principle of things, no one have this moral compass that just tells you like it's enough. Like no one has that. And that also makes me think that Mongolia has like about 3.5 million population, and almost half of them live in the city, and it's a pretty young city and pretty young population. And the thing is, there is this like strange thing when it comes to Mongolia. Few people, you can connect yourself to anyone in Mongolia with just 2 or 1 degree separation, right? Like you can't say shit to anyone because that person may end up knowing really impactful or like really high-ranking person. And then just because, you said something, you kind of like stood up for yourself, you might actually end up being the criminal because this person knows someone who works in the Department of Police, and then they will actually get you like in trouble. And another thing is that, so there's this social strata in Mongolian population. I am guessing they are like new money, right? They just came to money. They, for some reason ended up having a good job, or like they moved right in certain important time in Mongolian history. Now they have money. And these people, just because like they are new to this money, they do not know the power of money to like change or corrupt people a lot. So they thought that they were like loving their kids, they were supporting their kids by giving them everything, by like saying yes to every desire of theirs, by supporting them through whatever they're going on, and like always supporting their kids when they've done something wrong, because they're kids and now they can support their kids with any way possible, right? And then this made the kids of those like new rich people into a strange mix where they grew up getting everything they wanted. They grew up like asking some things from their parents and then getting it. But then they grew up at the same time, they grew up without no decorum, no homeschooling, no like guidance that gives you this moral compass, this compassionate, like that makes you a little bit of a compassionate person. You can get whatever you want. You can like ask this and get it and be happy about it. But then there's life. It's not just about getting things whatever you want. It's like you're not the king of life, that kind of this principle lessons of compassion, or just knowing right and wrong, and just not being crazy, just not being a crazy person. That kind of teaching from their parents, like it's just not there. So they internalize that ability to get everything that they want. Everything that they do is like always end up being good for them. They internalize that, and then they turn it into a power of abuse. And then I think this ended up being like that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, children being exposed to social media, they're getting everything that they want. They have this mentality that, oh, my parents got it, but in a very wrong way, and then they watch some shit on the internet, some Korean K-drama. Like I think Korean K-drama shows some crazy bullying shit, and then they think it's cool. Fuck's sake. Like they have a very wrong idol among them. They have a very wrong idea of what's cool among them. And back in my day, like what's considered cool was K-pop, singing and dancing, being skinny, that's for sure, smoking. Yeah, that kind of stuff were considered cool. But now I have no idea. Like I be going in the street, I be seeing kids with butterfly knife. And I'm scared of them. They're like, I promise they're half my size, and I'm 5'6", 5'5". They're half my size, and I'm scared of them. I kid you not, I saw like 2-3 kids playing with butterfly knife. So that happened in Mongolia, and I'm feeling so scared, so scared for the teenagers these days, simply because most of them do not have a very supportive or very strong, influential parents. They don't. And those who know that they have a very supportive and very influential parents, they do this shit. They, like, even I saw a video of a boy, he's just wincing and just, his face is like wringing in pain. And then camera panned down, and then there's this girl with a long ass stiletto nails, and very trendy girl, right? She actually has this, like, pliers. Yes, plier. Yes. So, yeah, I found the word. So the camera pans down, and then this girl who's using a plier, very sharp tip plier, and then literally just pinching the thighs of the boy, and then she's like, tightening her grip on the plier, and then the boy can't. I don't know why he didn't say anything, or like it looked like they were in their school, like in their classroom, and then that was potentially happening. And then I don't want to victim blame that boy, but I kind of understand the reason why that boy might have not screamed, or like might have not let other people know. Because first of all, I think it's just my ideas. First of all, I think boys are, like under pressure to weather any pain or abuse that they get from girls. Because like, why are you being hurt by a girl? You're a man. Like, you shouldn't feel anything when a girl does something to you. Kind of like the toxic masculinity aspect of it. Second, I think that boy looked like a normal kid who does not have very strong parents behind him. Like, I'm projecting like crazy, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility, right? Because he knew that if he screamed, or if he let other people know, that he might actually be in trouble again. Because you can't just change schools or change classrooms and run away from like a bullying. Bullying is everywhere. If you change school, you might as well just end up in the same place. Second of all, changing school is such a crazy and tedious process that you will just think maybe it will just cause a lot of inconvenience and issue to my parents. I'll just weather this. It looked like that situation was kind of like that. So maybe, I'm not sure if I'm being very hyperbolic about it. Maybe this kind of stuff was always there, and I was just lucky enough to not go through it. Let's say that is true, then it's the time to stop it. It doesn't matter whether like the impact or the methods of bullying has gotten crazy now and then we need to stop, or like it has always been like this. It doesn't matter. It has to stop. That scary thing is the parents, allegedly and apparently, the parents of the bullies are, as I said, they work in a high-ranking positions. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? And I think it just shows such a difference of reality when it comes to anything, I think, because there's always going to be hierarchy. There's always going to be a social hierarchy, and it's always going to be heavy at the bottom. But that bottom, like people like me, people like normal people, they have things going on with their life already. And then this scandal will, let's say it's going to continue for 5 days or a week at best. And then it will die down. And the victims of the bullying, those kids, will exist in fear and trauma. And the perpetrators of this crime, they will live life scot-free. I just know that for sure. I don't know what to do. I think this issue has got so many factors. It's such a loaded issue. It shows like difference of, power, difference of, what kind of parents you have, difference of money, how the legal system is working. I mean, if the legal system was working and great and awesome, it shouldn't just be happening. It should, those kids should not be doing that if the legal system, if the legislative environment was like so wonderfully working. Even kids know that you can buy your way out of crime. Even teenagers know it now. What does that mean about Mongolia? Please nuke us. I don't fucking care. Like, if those who deserve to die dies, please fucking nuke us. I don't care. Wait, yeah, I don't care. Let me think. Me not care. Those who deserve to die dies, fucking nuke everything. Oh, fuck's sake. It is such a great day to be childless. I'm just saying it very selfishly. At the same time, just because I'm childless and I'm child-free doesn't mean I don't care about children. Doesn't mean I don't care about children who deserve to be cared about. So yeah, that's been happening in social media and in society of Mongolia. Clearly very much fucked up. What do you do about it? How do you solve this issue? Fuck's sake.